This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Get real. I always hear that in my dreams. Welcome to DBL, everyone. It's just like a bad nightmare over and over again. How is everyone? Good?
Wonderful. Yourself?
I'm feeling pretty good. I do want to get to this story because it's really, I want to know what the new mom thinks about this, okay? Because I don't know
The new mom.
The new mom.
I got a long
That's
time,
Lindsay.
hopefully, until this, but.
Well, I want to know what you think. We have an update to a story we've been following. If you remember, this is 15-year-old Ava. She has a very large following on TikTok. This past summer, her dad shot and killed a stalker who showed up with a shotgun at their home in Florida. Well, now Ava's got another alleged stalker and will be testifying against him in court. Her lawyer said, quote, she's genuinely afraid for her safety. Now, despite all the unwanted and violent attention, here's the part I want to get to. Ava's parents are continuing to allow her to be on social media. I want to give a little context too and get your opinion, Linz, right away. Ava gets paid up to $1,700 per post for certain brands, which might be some incentive, I'm speculating, for the parents to continue the social media.
I think this shows the dark side to fame to social media fame. And so, we're looking at this little girl and she's sending pictures. The actual stalker who was killed, she sent him direct pictures of her smiling. She said he started asking for pictures of her body and her toes. And her parents said that's when it went too far. So to me, the parents should have interjected way before this. 1.2 million followers is a lot for a little girl. I also don't think that my child's well-being and safety is worth $1,800 a month. And if they want to work
a
post, and if they want to work that hard to be creative, I'll give them a job with my production company. Let's figure out how you can be creative and make money, because I don't think that looking at this, they letting her go back on. I know that it's incentive to build her creativity and do all these things, but she's on there and she's vulnerable. TikTok population, a third of the people on TikTok are under 14. Wow. And so most of them are these kids that, yes, we talk about the creativity and the growth, but we also don't talk about enough the mental health effects and the way that people are literally depressed and dealing with this in higher numbers because of social media, and how it's not regulated in any way for kids. Adults have a hard time with social media, so I don't understand how we're letting these kids who, in the next story we're going to talk about this a little more, a different perspective, but I think, kids are really vulnerable, and between that age, they don't need to be making the decisions, especially if somebody came to her home and shot through the front door.
And it was killed in front, yeah.
Right, was killed, and then, mind you, this is Florida, so they have different laws regarding guns, stand your ground, and so I understand that dad too. I think that he was, as a former police officer, a lieutenant, he did what any dad probably would have done in Florida, especially. So I empathize with that, but I also think it's remiss for them to allow her to continue to be there, knowing that she already has another stalker.
Well, you brought up a great point that kind of counters this, and I want to know your take. You had said, but you can't let stalkers control your life.
No, absolutely not.
So I was like, what is Erica going to say on this? I was really just
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I will tell you what I'm going to say.
Please.
I understand everything that Lindsay's saying, but the truth is you cannot allow people to make it so uncomfortable and unsafe for you that you stop living your life fully. We cannot pretend like social media is going away anytime soon. And there are ways, especially if you are a revenue-driven content creator, which there are a lot of people who are making a lot of money on social media. There are ways that the parents could absolutely intervene, and we don't know that they haven't because there's social media management. There are ways of actually protecting your account in different ways. There are ways of other people going in and seeing who's following you, what activity is normal activity versus what activity may not be. So I think at this point, I don't think that it would be the right move for the parents to remove her from social media, whether it was funded by, whether the intent was driven by money or not, because you have to make your child understand how to live in the world that they were brought into. And the truth is, social media is a big part of that world.
I just think that's bad parenting, though, because she is selling pictures of herself to the man who shot through her front door. Like, as the parent, you're not selling pictures. And her parents said they found out that she could make thousands of dollars after she created her third account. Like, I watched this whole interview on the local station, and I'm like, so you guys didn't realize that your daughter was making money on social media, and then when you realized she can make money, you helped her navigate it and manage it at that point, and now she has somebody shooting through the door. So I think that, yes, it could be managed, and you shouldn't be blockading them from what exists in their real life, but I think that the parents parents dropped the ball on the beginning of this whole thing.
Of course they dropped the ball. Most parents are dropping the ball in this country because they are not taking social media seriously. I think a lot of people think that this is what kids do and this is a kid's thing and I'm too old for this. Ignorance of anything is detrimental, especially when it comes to something that your child will never be able to avoid. I don't think it's bad parenting. I think the idea is that people are very, very comfortable being ignorant about things that they don't know about. When you know better, you do better. I'm not going to say that it's bad parenting because I know a lot of parents who would be bad parents if it came out to just this. They don't understand it. And the problem is that they don't understand it, and that's the reason why their children are in danger. When we have this conversation with parents, make sure you understand in a complete totality of what your child is involved in. Because if you don't understand it, it doesn't mean it's just going to go away, because it's not going away. So get with the program.
Interesting. Just so you guys know, Ava is also withdrawn from in-person schooling. So this has taken her away from in-person schooling as well. All the ripple effects, that's a big social difference when you're no longer in school and you're getting stalked. I'd love to hear what you guys think. You heard two good arguments here. Write us on YouTube or the app to let us know. Would you allow your teenager to continue with this? Speaking of social media, this teenager got a special present for his 18th birthday. His mom paid him $1,800 to stay off social media for 6 years. She offered him the money when he was 12, at an age when he said he didn't really have that great a concept of money yet, but was very excited. He kept his promise and stayed away from all social media. His mom said his older sister really struggled with social media as a teen, which is why she offered her son the money.
I love this.
All right, talk to me.
Because I think, so his son, I watched the interview with him too. He said that he got the highlight reel without all the drama. So his friends would tell him, okay, this is the TikTok dance. He would go to school and be informed and was still in the loop, but he didn't deal with the bullying that his friends said they dealt with. He didn't deal with some of the name calling online because he was kind of above it all just by participating in a contest with his mother. And so maybe the $1,800 would have been a different perspective by the time you're 18.
Right.
But I love that she made it a challenge rather than being the kid that's like, my mom said I can't have a phone, or my mom. You're the kid that's like, no, I don't want to do this. And now he's 18 and he's on it, and he's like, yeah, I feel like a grandpa trying to navigate this thing. But I really love that he was empowered in the decision, and his mom had a conversation with him and made it like, you can make this choice, make money too. What do you want to do? So I really love this story.
And they learned a lesson with their older child.
Yeah, because the older child was suffering.
Right, which is interesting.
In my mind, this kid is far more intelligent than most of his peers, in my mind. But the truth is, he's going to be going to college or entering the real world, and he doesn't have the same tools that his peers have. He doesn't speak the same jargon. So I wonder if it's going to be like, I think this is really the things that case studies are made out of. In 10 years, will this have a negative effect or a positive effect on him? The idea that he's so delayed behind his peers on something that's really a networking and the connectivity between people who are in his position.
It's like a currency now. I remember when I started taking typing. Do you guys remember QWERTY?
Yeah.
And I was like, why are we doing this? And I realized I was in 6th grade and I was really getting competitive about it. Okay, whatever. And I realized that because computers were just starting, they wanted us to have that skill ready so that we weren't behind and delayed or lagging. So I hear both arguments.
Well, I'll say I hopped on social media probably 7 years after all my friends, and I'm fine as an adult
look at you.
who was slow. You know what I mean? So I think that they'll figure it out. As 18 and having them 4 years of college, they'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out? I don't know. We'll see. Coming up on DBL, Big Brother host Julie Chen Moonves. She dishes on our very own Jeff Schroeder, who is a former contestant and a Texas GOP candidate, goes topless. Will this head-turning ad help her get votes?
Closed captioning provided by
So I wanted to say this really quick. Aaron Ledette, who I really like, has come up and started really being on the chat. Way to go, Aaron. I'm big on the chat.
Tori always notices a new
I
face,
do.
so
Aaron was really
please.
kind about, we talked about bullying yesterday, and he admitted that he had been one and was really honest and transparent, and like the group really reacted to that. So Aaron wrote, all social media does for me is make me feel bad about myself. Is there a redeeming quality in social justice, in action and organization?
Absolutely.
There is, right?
There used to be this old phrase back when people first got a personal computer at home, and it was
Remember
called
that,
Giggo.
Sierra?
And Giggo is garbage in, garbage out. And the idea was what you're putting into the computer is feeding back to you. And I think that that really applies to social media. If you are very focused in on things that, and maybe you aren't even doing it consciously, but you're maybe focused in on things that may be triggering to you or may evoke emotions that you aren't comfortable with. If you change what you're following and what you're looking at, it will return back to you. So if you went with cleared out your social media and did all positive posts.
DBL.
Yeah. You know, consciously, you would be very, very surprised by what's being fed back to you.
It's your if you think of it as like a museum and you're a curator and you pick which museums go in your gallery. She's right. If you choose what you curate and see every day, that little incremental 1%, 2% change over time will have a dramatic effect on how your day starts and then your lunch and then your, I think in terms of food.
I think you shouldn't start your day with social media, but
Yeah.
you should definitely include it in your day. Like, I don't wake up and get on the phone. I probably check emails after, you know, doing some meditation or hanging out with my kid, but I definitely think you should incorporate it in your day, but don't put it as the priority.
I start with it and I get a stomachache immediately. And
Well,
I
you
can't
follow
stop.
too much stuff that will give you a stomachache.
You're absolutely right. I just talked about curating and I
Welcome back. I feel like you guys are fighting about ... dots. That's the funniest thing ever. Ellipses, when to use them, when not.
Oh, I'm the worst texter in the world.
You are. You write in all
Everyone says
caps,
I write in all
Lindsay.
caps.
How are you doing, Tori?
I'm just checking
fine.
in. I'm just checking in.
I love it. All right, welcome back. A candidate in Texas is sparking controversy over a topless campaign video on none other than TikTok. This is Sarah Stogner, who is running for Texas Railroad Commissioner. Sounds like a monopoly job, right? And this is her TikTok campaign video, and she's posing topless while sitting on top of an oil rig. Suggestive. She commented on the video saying, quote, "They said I needed money. I have other assets." A local paper pulled their support following the video, saying, quote, "We expect candidates for public office to model civil discourse and decorum worthy of the public's trust. This was neither." Sarah is hitting back, calling the criticism slut-shaming. Wow! What do we got here? I don't know.
Don't you think the decorum barometer has changed a little bit since the next president is going to be one of our kids that's on TikTok right now, right? So that's going to be down the line, like 10. So they're going to have a lot of stuff that's unsavory because parents, like Erica said, are not jumping in and monitoring every single thing they post, or post and delete, or post and make disappear. A lot of things that can happen on social media. So I don't know that. I mean, maybe she could start the new trend of like what's coming next. There might be a.
Is there an agenda at her? First of all, I go straight to Gary Chambers, who's running for Louisiana, and he smoked a blunt we actually spoke with him on the show. And he smoked a blunt, and it got everyone's attention because it was such a major act, but he had an agenda about the legalization and brown people in jail because of it. Is there an agenda here? Is she freeing the nipple? What is going on?
I don't know if she's freeing the nipple, Tori.
Erica, help me.
Yeah, no, I think what people fail to realize is everything's not for you.
Right.
And if she's going to run her campaign this way, this is a very strategic move, hoping that there are going to be enough people who are, one, actually going to this particular going to vote in this particular election, because a lot of people may not. And if the majority of the people who are voting in this particular election think that's okay, then she's a winner. And it's a calculated risk.
Is it a risk or is it a stunt?
I want to know
it's a calculated risk.
What issue is she addressing by freeing the nipple in regards to her railroad commissioner role? I just want to know. And also, and I always maybe I'm the one that misses this thing, but like I never knew, just like when we march for Black Lives Matter, like it actually matters that we do something about this immediately. Are nipples so unfree that we must act now? You know, with these, that's why I'm just lost about some of these issues that people dying on the sword for.
And I thought maybe that's the reason. She hasn't said that. I'm just saying, because I couldn't think of another reason other than a gratuitous stunt of I don't have any money and this is the way I'm going to do it. But is that bad?
My body, my choice, maybe? That could be another issue. But I don't see how that, again, applies to railroad commissioner. But I also might need to Google more information about the railroad commissioner.
It's regulation of oil and gas.
And so she wants to be naked on the oil. Let it be clean oil.
I think what she wants is people's eyeballs. And guess what? We're talking about her. We're talking about her. You've never heard about her before. Let us know if you think it's a good idea, a calculated risk, or just a gratuitous stunt. Coming up on DBL, Julie Chen Moonves gives us a behind-the-scenes look at Celebrity Big Brother ahead of tonight's finale. Plus, what does she have to say about former contestant and DBL host Jeff Schroeder? Can't wait for this.
Americans have received 3 stimulus checks from the federal government since 2020. And one of the most frequently asked questions we get at Verify is whether we'll get a 4th check. So far, Congress hasn't approved one. But this video on Facebook with more than 45,000 views claims President Joe Biden signed an executive order to distribute more stimulus money. So let's verify. Did President Biden tell Americans they would receive a new round of stimulus payments? Our sources are the White House press pool, the White House, and the Internal Revenue Service. The Post includes a video with Biden supposedly making the announcement on a news station.
Some people in the country will start seeing those direct deposits in their bank accounts this weekend.
But Verify found this is what Biden actually said in the clip.
We can create an environment that raises the standard of living around the world.
The real video is from last November when the president spoke at the COP26 climate summit in Scotland. This is proven by the presence of the UK and UN flags in the background and the logos for the conference on the podium. Here are both videos playing in sync with each other. The fake video loops a portion from the real video, and President Biden's lips match the audio in the real clip. So the video posted on Facebook is fake. It was manipulated to sound like President Biden. The wording of the purported audio was actually said by White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki in March 2021.
Some people in the country will start seeing those direct deposits in their bank accounts this weekend.
The IRS confirms on its website that the government only sent out 3 stimulus checks, and there is no 4th check. So, no, President Biden never told Americans they would receive a new round of stimulus payments. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
You know, we've been chatting all about Lamar's love for Chloe K, which he confessed during his Celebrity Big Brother eviction. And Julie Chen Moonves listened and weighed in on our conversation with her thoughts, as well as her feelings for our very own Big Jeff. Check it out.
Please welcome Julie Chen Moonves.
Hey.
So, Julie, I don't know if you heard us talking about Chloe and Lamar, but obviously Lamar was very transparent during Celebrity Big Brother. So, after he got evicted and he tells you that he hopes to see Chloe soon, do you think that Big Brother could rekindle Chloe and Lamar, and are you rooting for them?
Well, for the record, I am rooting for them.
Aww.
I was listening. Erica, I think you have an excellent point, because I was just having this very same debate this morning with my glam squad. And for the record, my makeup artist and I are like, oh, we want them to get back together. And my hairdresser, she's a little bit younger than me and my makeup artist, she was like, no, you can't do that to her. Very much saying what you were saying, Erica. So, Big Jeff had a very big, good point, which was when you are sober, you have to make amends. And I think he is realistic enough to know that he wants to take one step at a time, first make amends, and then let the Lord lead the way, and whatever will be, will be.
That is, okay, Jeff's feeling pretty good right now.
I feel good. I feel good. I'm also having like PTSD, Julie, because when I talk to you through a screen, it's usually in the Big Brother house, and you're giving us some kind of bad news.
House guests. I mean, anchor people, come into the studio right now.
Right.
You're all evicted. Kidding.
Julie, speaking of Jeff, okay, when you think of Big Brother's very own Big Jeff Schroeder, what comes first to your mind?
Just how he was our first male America's sweetheart. Aww. He was someone that was like you know, with those big blue eyes. You know, everybody kind of had a crush on Jeff. It wasn't just Jordan. And we just loved his raw honesty and like pure heart. And he was, you know, the hero that everyone was kind of rooting for. Aww. And you let us down, Hefe.
Why is that? I have 2 kids with Jordan.
You won. You lost Big Brother, but you won in life. So I was just kidding. And you did great. I saw your beautiful boys. Aww. I saw them on Instagram with your beautiful Jordan.
Thank you.
Who did win.
She says hello, and I want to say hi to your glam team. Julie, I could talk to you all day. I want to thank you first and foremost. 12 years ago we met, right? And where I've came from that moment on Big Brother, I met my wife, my 2 beautiful kids. Julie, you are an extreme part of my success, and I really, really look up to you, and I want you to know that.
Thank you. No, you get back what you put out. And you know what, Jeff, you always will have a special spot in my heart. Because when I went on your little interactive show in like the closet of like, you know, CBS Television City, you're like the only person who like, it was so genuine. You gave me this like, I love this polyester HOH robe.
We gave you an HOH robe. So when you win HOH, you're the head of a house and you get a robe. Obviously fitting the first interview I did with Julie, we gave her that robe not knowing you would even keep it.
That's really awesome.
It's so threadbare. It's like my favorite Snuggie Wuggy. I have other robes that I've been gifted that are probably, you know, a little bit more expensive. This is the go-to.
That was just the beginning. I got to get you a better robe. But Julie, let's get back to the interview. I just want to say I love you and the show, how much you guys did for me. I want you guys to know how much I really do love you. But a lot of people, especially in our studio, they want to know from Julie Chen, what does it take for a player to impress you, and who is the best player, do you think, in your eyes of all time?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, I can't pick my favorites, but I will, of course, setting aside you and Jordan, but I will say that Jordan was unique in that she showed the world that you can play on an honest, clean, good game and win it. However, that being said, I have seen people, you know, lie, steal, beg, borrow, lie to your face, charm their way to the finish line, i.e. Will Kirby. Ooh. I've seen people float their way because they didn't really do much, but they had a great time in the summer, and then they were the lesser of 2 evils and win. And I've seen people, Rachel Riley, I admire so much because she had the whole house against her. It was like her against everyone else, and she was winning when it was time to win, and she really turned things around. She won.
If you stepped away from your hosting duties, can me or Jeff host?
Hey, listen.
I think so.
Absolutely. You know, if I get the sniffles or God forbid I get a positive COVID result this summer and they need someone to step in, I'm calling either you, Al, or you, Jeff. Okay? Because you asked.
Humoring me on that, but yes.
It's down to the 2 of us.
You don't ask, you don't get.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Julie, for joining us today. DBL Nation, you can catch the finale of Celebrity Big Brother tonight. We'll be right back. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
COVID-19 doesn't discriminate based on who you are or where you're from. There are an estimated 10 million unauthorized immigrants living in the United States. Following the federal government's announcement to make 500 million free rapid tests available for people in the U.S., Verify viewer David S. asked if unauthorized immigrants living in the United States can also request the free test. So David, let's verify. Our sources are the White House, USPS, Cindy Benavides, National CEO of LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens, and Dr. Cameron Webb with the White House COVID-19 response team. According to the White House, the free rapid COVID tests are available to anyone with a residential mailing address in the U.S. USPS is delivering those tests to homes across the country. To order an at-home test, you need to provide your name and address on the USPS website. Cindy Benavides is the CEO of LULAC, a Hispanic civil rights organization. LULAC partnered with the Department of Health and Human Services to create Junto, Si Podemos, a program to increase awareness about the tests.
The name and address are not shared with any departments or agency. It's specifically so that every community member in the U.S. Can access tests to their home.
During a Junto event with Dr. Cameron Webb from the White House COVID-19 response team, Webb confirmed that unauthorized immigrants living in the United States can and should request the tests without fear.
Often there's questions about immigration enforcement or things along those lines, and this information is not being shared for those purposes at all.
So we can verify, yes, unauthorized immigrants living in the United States are eligible to request the free rapid COVID-19 tests. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Date-Till.
By the end of the year, wireless carriers like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile will have completely shut down their 3G networks to make room for faster 5G ones. And each company has a different deadline for what's called sunsetting. First up was AT&T, which completely shut down its 3G network today. So let's verify, why are carriers shutting down 3G and how could it impact your life? Our sources are the Federal Communications Commission, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Let's start with why this is happening. According to the FCC, mobile carriers have to shut down their older networks to free up space, bandwidth as it's called, and make room for faster signals like 5G. So let's talk timeline. As we mentioned, AT&T shut down its 3G today. T-Mobile will be next, shutting down on July 1st, and Verizon by December 31st. So here's the big question. How might this impact your life? Well, according to the FCC, when carriers shut down their 3G networks, some items might stop working. That includes medical alert devices, older fire and burglar alarms, crash prevention systems in cars, also breathalyzers, ankle monitors, older tablets, and some smartwatches. Now that was a lot of information, so we've put the FCC's guide about this transition and links to each carrier on our website. And if you want to check it out, just text the word verify to this number, 202-895-5599. We'll send it right to your phone. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Welcome back. It's time for a healthcare update sponsored by GoHealth. Who else is ready to spring out of winter? Well, a freshly squeezed dose of vitamin C could give you a boost. Citrus fruits have high levels of vitamin C, antioxidants, and flavonoids that are natural cold and flu fighters. With cold and flu season at its peak, now is the perfect time to pick and peel because it's also a peak season for a variety of orange crops in Florida and California. If you're looking for a health insurance plan, GoHealth makes it so easy to enroll. Call 1-800-650-2534 or visit GoHealth.com to find the plan that's right for you. OJ, love me good OJ with pulp, without?
Without.
Definitely without.
With?
What? Who likes that? That's so ridiculous.
Am I the loser?
No, this has too much going on.
DBL every day. Bye. Go pulp.